The overall goal here with the DOGE team is to help address the enormous deficit. We simply cannot sustain as a country $2 trillion deficits. The interest rates, just the interest on the national debt, now exceeds the Defense Department spending. We spend a lot on the Defense Department, but we're spending like over $1 trillion on interest. If this continues, the country will become de facto bankrupt.
Look at all those dudes looking at Elon like, yeah, welcome to reality. We all know what's happening. The question is, what can be done about it? That was Trump's first cabinet meeting. Member of Congress Khanna, California, Democrat, is one of the few in his party who says, hey, I want to work with Musk and DOGE, whatever makes things better. It's good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Chris.
So first, I don't get the play of being in high dudgeon that Elon Musk is at a cabinet meeting when he's not an official member of the cabinet. Who cares?
Well, that's not my problem. My problem is he's talking about the deficit. We've got a $1.8 trillion deficit. Projected 10 years, it's about $21 trillion. And the Republicans just passed a budget that would add $2.8 trillion to that deficit, so $24.8 trillion. It's sort of like Elon Musk is looking around the house and the couches for the dimes and quarters, while Mike Johnson is with the credit card spending thousands of dollars in the stores. I mean, it just doesn't add up. The math doesn't work.
Well, depends which math you want, right? Their counter is, oh yeah, look at the last time we did the tax cuts. Everybody had $3,000 more in their pocket than they do today. And all that revenue, all that investment, that generated an economy that was much better than what you guys did on your watch.
Chris, we can argue about the economy, but the reality is the numbers are the numbers. Donald Trump added $8 trillion to the deficit. Now, some of that, granted, was COVID funding, but the reality is the tax cuts created a deficit, and both parties have been creating these deficits. So you've got to be straight with the American public. Like, look, Hegseth says, I want to cut defense 8%. I start cheering. I've been voting against the Pentagon budget for years because of defense contractors. And then what do House Republicans do? They pass a budget that literally increases the defense budget by $100 billion. So you can't be saying one thing on television and voting a totally different way in Congress.
So you guys don't want tax cuts for the rich. How open are Democrats, and are you going to offer an alternative budget that shows cuts that add up for the American people and get the debt down?
Absolutely. You know, Jon Stewart had a great monologue on this. Start with cutting the subsidies to fossil fuel companies. Start with having Medicare negotiate the pharmaceutical prices. Cut some of the Pentagon defense contracts to the 5 primes. And that's where I said if Musk was serious about that, because he did SpaceX, that people would work with him. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren said that on the defense contracting. Make sure that you're closing some of the tax loopholes. I mean, there are places that the Democrats are willing to cut. Look at Medicare Advantage fraud that's taking place with upbilling. Those are the big ticket items.
No, the entitlements are the big ticket items. And look, all due respect to Stewart, I don't know who writes his stuff. I'm sure he has a great team. But you and I both know not all subsidies are the same, right? There's certain things that are done to get states to get corporate activity there that they desperately need. They're the biggest employers. They put a lot of money into the economy that they could take away and go somewhere else, right? I mean, it's easy for a comedian to make a line out of it, but the reality is a little different, no? And why not go after the entitlements? That's where the money is.
Well, look, the fossil fuel subsidies, though, Chris, those were in 1916 and 1920, and they've got this thing called intangible drilling costs, which basically say that they get to deduct from their taxes any money that is spent on drilling, equipment that's used, labor that's used for drilling, unlike any other industry. I mean, even people who are opposed to the solar tax credits, wind tax credits, I'm for those, but why are you subsidizing the fossil fuel industry? My view is that the Democrats have other places, the negotiation with pharmaceutical companies. I mean, this is something Donald Trump has talked about, that Americans shouldn't be paying more than people in other parts of the world. Let's come together on that. Let's negotiate with the pharma companies to lower those costs.
Well, that is going to be very popular. You know, the only pushback on the subsidies is Democrats have had control of Congress and left those subsidies right where they are. So, you know, it's not like there weren't chances to do it in the past. Let me get your take quickly, Rowan. I always appreciate you on the show. Tariffs on EU, 25%. Unless they're a stunt, as worked with Canada and Mexico, basically, what's your concern?
Why are we tariffing in a blanket way our allies? Here's what I'm for. Have tariffs on China, have strategic tariffs to protect steel and aluminum in this country. I have not been a blanket in criticism of Donald Trump. I said he identified that we were losing too many jobs to China, go after them. He identified the importance of keeping steel in this country, aluminum in this country, fine. But the way he's going about this with blanket tariffs on our allies, on Canada, Mexico, EU, doesn't make sense. And it's undermining the important point he had, which is to rebuild the industrial base in America.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.